What's going on, guys? My name is Rockma. I am doing some impression slash tip videos. Um, and yeah, there's just some footage in the background for some people that were able to post their gameplay. This is not mine. It's just something I found on. Link will be in the description. First thing is, you see these guys? This is how. This is my first tip. Find a group of people to play with. It's so important to find a group to play with. It's not even funny. Um, it's going to help you out dramatically, and you're going to be able to find yourself utilizing and finding your own playstyle much better if you're in a group, rather than having to conform to the game's systems. And I say this with 100% sincerity. It will drastically improve your gameplay experience to find these groups of people. They're called companies. I would recommend using your time in the beta coming up in the next couple day or so to find yourself a company, figure out the kind of style you want to play, uh, and then be open to the needs of your members, uh, to help them out. Think about things like CC. Think about things like throughput damage, self heals, buffs, things like that. Having the ability to properly engage with the content in a group setting is so important. Not just for the PvE side of things, because like you could do this by yourself. It's not nearly as fun. Trust me, it's not. But if you do it in a group, or if you do PvE stuff solo, it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's okay. Doing it in a group is so much more fun. It makes the slower paced combat that a lot of people have issues with feel like it's so fast paced, like it's so engaging, and you almost don't have enough time to really think through everything. As this guy, he's not even using his skills. He's spamming. You can tell right there. Um, it's just a good time in a group setting. Now, the most important part when you're talking about group type content is going to be PvE, or I'm sorry, PvP. PvP missions give you the most experience. They give you the alliance tokens, faction tokens, and that's what you're going to be needing for decent gear. It's not the best gear, but it's decent gear, right? Um, that gear is going to be incredibly important whenever you get into some of the like 20 to 30 level areas, because you're going to need to be able to compete not only with the mobs being more difficult, but also you're going to be getting funneled into areas with other players. And that can happen as early as 10. Finding a group of people to run with is going to give you a much better chance at completing these missions, as well as they can be run as a group because almost everyone will get the same type of missions in the same areas, uh, depending on which zone you're in. Now, um, second thing I would focus on. There is a aspect to this game where you want to hoard everything you have. There is a storage locker in each town that is connected to, well, that town. Um, and because it has so much crafting and so much gathering, and it can take so much of your time, you may feel like that's really what you want to focus on. And that's what I focused on because that was what I enjoyed the first, I would say, 100 hours of gameplay. That's what I did. And I would recommend against that. Why would I recommend against that? Because um, everything scales so dramatically with level, whether it's raw materials or just experience, weapon experience, which two different subclasses. You know, you get your regular experience, and then you get your weapon experience for actually killing things. And I would focus on leveling quickly, and then setting up different people to do different types of professions. So let's say you have a blacksmith or a weaponsmith, and you've got your armor guy, and you've got your alchemist, and you've got your enchanter, you've got your your stone cutter, right? Start giving the different materials to the different people. Now, if you don't have anybody and you're just trying to do it all yourself, at least for the first day, maybe week, maybe 2 weeks, if you're not immediately going to use it, sell it. It's going to be where the price is the highest, and it's going to be the most beneficial for you to go ahead and get rid of those materials, so that you can specialize in whatever you need. Like for me personally, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making weapons, and then I'm going to also be farming skins. But I'm only going to be farming the skins, a little bit until I hit, level 20, level 30, maybe level 40, so that I can get those higher level skins, so I can really start ramping up that experience like crazy, so that I can feed those skins to the leather worker, so I can get my satchel, because I want to have a big bag space. Before I even think about taking on crafting seriously, I want to be worried about, like, how much can I carry? I don't want to spend my entire gameplay running back and forth between the base, because I did that for a long time. And it just, it's not an efficient way to play the game, and it can also take a lot of fun out of the game for people who don't have a ton of patience. So that's what I would recommend. But yeah, it all starts with finding your group of people. And luckily we have this, 9 days, 10 days to play the game, find a group of people to get along with, and then we have a month left to organize and figure out who wants to do what and how, when, where, all that good stuff. If you played, I guess number 3, if you played last year, the game has changed a lot. Okay, the heals are stronger. Some things have been nerfed so far as damage goes. The hatchet's not as strong as it was. Comparatively to the other ones, it's still very strong, and a lot of people still use it over the other weapons. But it's not the end-all be-all. There are different types of things. There are different situations in which you would vastly prefer other types of armaments. For instance, my clan has a strong affinity for the Great Axe because of its ability to close range and deal tremendous amounts of damage. I have a lot of folks in my company that want to be frontline tanks and are actually, taking the fight to the enemy, whereas I'm more of a support player. So we work very, very well together. But just having those roles set up allows us for to have this engagement. My personal weapons that I really, really like, I love having the spear, and I'll alternate between the spear and the hatchet, or the spear and the musket. I will say that I would like to see some tuning on the musket get a little bit stronger. I just feel like it's a little underwhelming in some aspects, but that could be player skill and not necessarily game faulting. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. If I had to say what's the most efficient or potent weapon type, I would have to say probably gonna go with the oh my goodness, I'm using the wrong microphone.
There we go. I would have to go with the sword and shield, and potentially even rapier. I've seen a lot of people just absolutely dominating with those. It looks like the range could use some work. Having said the Ice Gauntlet and the Fire Staff, I've seen extensive use and can absolutely tear things apart when utilized. I think that they've set up some interesting situations in which there are enough varied dynamics that there are uses for each weapon, or at least most weapons, where they are favored heavily one way or the other. So yeah, that's really what I've got so far as my my tips, at least for the beginners, at least for my first New World video. But I just want to let everybody know I'm going to be playing the game, I'm going to be streaming it, and I've got a lot more to say on it. I just kind of wanted to introduce myself and give you what I think would be a good set of starting